You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode. Today you're joining us in celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week in Edmond. As restrictions begin to lift, Edmond is ready to welcome you back to their hotels, restaurants, and attractions. Your first getaway can be a staycation or a short drive to Edmond. Today we're going to dive into a lot of businesses that are opening up with three awesome ladies who've been working for Edmond for a very long time and just love the city. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode. I am up in Edmond today with, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the other awesome video platforms, you can see I'm sat with three wonderful ladies. I am 100% outgunned here, but we're going to talk about this amazing city and the awesome things that happen here. So I'm going to introduce, actually no, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves because I'll probably get it wrong. So yeah, really excited to learn. You know, this is going to be a 10-part series. And we're going to learn all there is about Edmond and bring people to Edmond. They should. You know, there's no reason for you to leave the state. There's no reason for you to leave Edmond if you already live here. And there's definitely, you know, a reason to come from Oklahoma City, from wherever it is to see the attractions in this awesome part of town. So, ladies, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure, yes. We're excited to be here, and I represent tourism, so it's Visit Edmond, and I'm Jennifer Seaton.
I'm Sherry Jordan. I'm the CEO for the Edmond Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Janet Yowell, and I'm the director of the Edmond Economic Development Authority. How
long have you guys worked for this area of town?
Do we have to say that?
No, we don't.
I just hit 30 years.
Oh, congrats. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I'm in my 16th year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are just spread out by 15 years because I'm brand new. I'll be a year in this summer.
That's really cool. That's so you've seen this city grow and seen this, you know, just this whole part of town. You know, you've obviously been here a lot longer than I have, and just kind of, I mean, I've been here 8 years now, and it's, you know, Edmond was, I remember the first time I came to Herd on Herd and just, you know, walked through Edmond, and I was like, oh, outside of some strange traffic around 5 o'clock, no one really likes that, but no, like it's an awesome place, and it's definitely growing, and with the rail yard now and all these other attractions in the parks, and I can't wait to just learn more about it and learn so much that I can tell our listeners without even having to pick up a book or see that it's just going to be second nature. But this week is a special week, right?
Yes.
So it's National Travel and Tourism Week?
Correct.
Okay. How is that? Yeah, let's dive into that, and how would that affect you guys, and I mean, why should people come to Edmond?
Right, yeah, that is the question that we want to kind of talk about today, because tourism is a huge economic driver. It's actually the third largest industry in Oklahoma. So when people visit Edmond, you know, they're shopping and they're playing and they're staying. So those are the things that that we want to kind of focus on. So this week, being Tourism Week, we want to show people and tell people that Edmond is not always what you think it is. So we wanted to tell you some stories, because I watch your podcast and I love hearing stories about businesses and community leaders. And, you know, one person that has been amazing, he's on my tourism board, and his name is Murad Mamatov. And he owns 2 coffee shops, Ellis Island. We have 2 of those in Edmond. And he has some big dreams for Arcadia Lake. And Arcadia Lake is a huge attraction that I think people don't sometimes realize. And he also has been helping people on his own, you know, at this time, because you can't ignore that with the COVID times, there's been a lot of struggle with small businesses.
Sure.
So he just gives his coffee away. If you can pay for it, you do, and if you don't, you don't.
That's
and
awesome.
It really helps. It pays his staff, and it shows his community, you know, kind of coming together. But the attractions are on Route 66, because we have 25 miles of Edmond around Route 66, as well as our just downtown. So I think when you think of Edmond, you might have some stereotypes in your mind, and we believe we're kind of stronger together. So I'm just excited to be a part of this amazing team, and the 3 women that you see here are really working together to show people how how different Edmond is, and that you can come here and you can shop at amazing places and you can eat and then experience between the festivals and the outdoors and the public art. We have 200 pieces of public art. So that's kind of what this tourism week is all about. We have like 14 hotels that do a great job, accommodating with very, great pools and things to do. So we just kind of just want to talk about that in general. And I know I will let Sherry talk next about kind of the business situation.
Sure.
So the Chamber's been around for a long time. We're 112 years old. So we're a membership organization, so it's voluntary to be a member of the Chambers, but we feel like it's a really good investment for people. And so we have about 950 members. A lot of them are restaurants and retail, which bring people to town. So if you're coming here, you can find all kinds of different places to eat. We have our own version of a food hall called the Rail Yard, and it's really fun. They have everything from tacos to ice cream to a cigar bar. So it's just a really fun indoor-outdoor venue. We have a great steakhouse. We have Boulevard Steakhouse. We have Sparrow and Cafe 501 all just right there together. And then for retail, all kinds of great shopping downtown as well as at 15th and Bryant and really all over town. There's just really great places to visit and go to here.
Yeah, definitely. It's Boulevard's a great steakhouse.
It is.
I think the last time I went there, are they still got really, is it really dark? Still
Yes,
in there? I remember walking, I'm like, are there any lights on yet?
And there used to be a
Setting the
martini.
scene.
Yeah, the Martini Lounge is now Sparrow, which that is an amazing.
I haven't been in there.
It's Italian.
Yes.
That was really dark.
Yes.
That was even darker than Boulevard.
And now
Yeah.
it's all light and modern. It feels like you're just
Completely different building now, right?
And walking from place to place, so you can walk. What I love about what Sherry said, you can walk from the Rail Yard, then you can shop right across the street in boutiques that you just can't find anywhere else. Also, Blockworks is an amazing climbing gym that we have downtown, which you wouldn't expect again, as well as our first brewery, Frenzy, is going to be opening soon. So those are just things that you can walk and experience, and you run into people and the friendly faces. And so, Edmond is not a sleepy bedroom community. We are not stuffy. We are fun, and we have live music. We have, great experiences that you can just have the whole package, and you can stay and play.
Yeah,
We have a fully locally sourced grocery store in downtown Edmond called Urban Agrarian. And they are just outstanding. They source everything locally, and you can even now go online and see kind of their list of what they offer and call them up, and they'll have it ready for you.
Yeah, and that farmers market now is open every Saturday.
Open that last
Yes, I got to go yesterday.
How was it?
Or
Was it
Saturday.
the first one?
Yes, they opened it for the first time Saturday for the year, and it was awesome from 9 to 1.
Yeah. And that's every Saturday, or was it? That is
Every
every Saturday. Okay, awesome. I have, you mentioned Urban Agrarian, friends of mine, they make hummus. It's called Yummus. You might have had it. If you haven't, it's amazing.
Yummus?
Yeah, it's called Yummus, yeah. And it was his mum's recipe, and he makes it, and it's my wife's best friend's husband who makes it. Now that's
And
their
they
family
sell
business.
it at the farmer's market?
Yeah, they sell it. They sell it at Urban Agrarian, and they're in a bunch of other local stores. And it started last year. They went to market last year. He's made it forever.
Yes.
His mum's made it, stuff like that. But they
And
made
those
it
are
their
the
business.
jewels that you'll find. Like Native Summit, I think, is an amazing store that's outdoor. You can find everything for hiking and kayaking and all these different outdoor activities, places like that.
And then you jump across the street to Othello's, and we actually officed there. It was the first hospital in Edmond, that building, and then it became Othello's over the years, and they expanded, and he owns a couple of restaurants, including around the corner, and has made a huge investment in downtown. We didn't just get to have the arts festival, but even before the arts festival, couple of years they had a beach party, and they came in, and for 2 blocks they put sand down on Broadway. Took them a day to do it and 2 days to take it all out.
I did not know
So
that.
it's just interesting to see how things have changed. And we also have a 100-year-old ice house and creamery right on the other side of the tracks from the rail yard. And We have a developer that's coming in, and he's going to do 4 restaurants over there.
Oh, that's great.
So you're kind of hearing the sneak peek from Janet, right? So
this is really good news.
That one's fun. And a couple of more little pockets of it. I think what we'll see are just small projects that really are kind of unique, and some residential housing, so people can actually start to live in downtown.
Right, yeah, and build like a bigger community here that's younger based, that's going to, put money into it. Because, it's great that the community centers around these local businesses, but that's not enough, right? You need people coming in from out of town, and you need people coming in, heads in beds is the quote, right?
And we have some B&Bs.
Yeah.
So.
Really strong ones. And I feel like people come to Edmond for reasons, which a lot of times it's sporting events.
Sure.
And so then while they're here, then they get to experience some fun things, while you're watching a tennis tournament at our brand new tennis center that's attracting national tournaments, or while you're at the aquatic center that attracts national, as well as you can't forget the Lazy E. So that's right outside Edmond, but those rodeos come and bring thousands of people for weeks at a time, and they get to experience Edmond.
Yeah. Okay, so tell everyone about where we are right now, because this facility is brand new. I've walked through it. The hotel's awesome, the pool out there and everything else. And the convention size is, you can get 2 or 3 conventions in that place, right? Yes. It's amazing. But people may drive by 35 to go to watch an OSU game. Hopefully that's back on the cards soon. I know a lot of college football fans are hoping that starts up soon, but they're going to see this new building and pass this whole facility that we have now with the movie theater and the golf course and everything. So how, tell us a little bit about this area.
Well, Visit Edmond is honored to be, we're housed inside the conference center. So it's the Edmond Conference Center, and a lot of people still don't know about us. So we keep bringing in amazing groups and weddings and conferences and meetings. And, I feel like when I talk to people, there's 3 things people love about this conference center. One is the free parking. 2 is our amazing food. So I've worked in Oklahoma City for 25 years, and you end up getting the same rubber chicken at all your events. And that is not the case here. Food is a really big deal.
Yeah.
As well as the audio visual. So that's not an extra charge, that's built in. So those things are key. And yes, you drive a little bit further north to get here, but this conference center is a jewel of Edmond. And then attached to it is a Hilton Garden Inn. And then this whole development is something that Janet and her team, actually all of Edmond, but with her lead, has developed some attractions that really will attract a lot of new visitors. And so that whole story is a unique story that Janet gets to tell us.
And so geographically, we're about in the center of our city limits right now.
Okay.
And we looked at this piece of property because we rely on sales tax revenue. And so we thought we could get a good development out of this. We surveyed the business community, and they needed space for conferences. And so we did many years of studying, going back to 2008 probably, and determined that we were going to have to put some public investment into the facility. So we did that, and we also we looked at probably every theater group that's out there right now, and went down the road with a couple of them, and those didn't work out, and I think we really found the best fit for Edmond. So it has movies, showbiz. Well, I'm talking about showbiz now. So we have movies, bowling, arcades, and food and beverage in there. And so it was just a perfect fit to be housed out here with the conference center. So it's something for people to do when they are going to sporting events, going to a conference, or if they bring their spouse and need something to do. We have about 100 acres on this northwest corner, so we have a lot of room to develop. And the private developer that owns that, we're working with him to see what we can attract. And we're looking at some sporting things, some retail things. And even when you look at the metro area, this really sits on the edge, the far north edge of the metro area. So it kind of takes some convincing of retailers to come all the way out here, because you go farther north and you may not have the rooftops. But we are determined to generate some further activity out here and combine with this conference center and showbiz.
Yeah. Are you allowed to say anything about what's coming in? Do you know what's already signed up?
We really can't talk about that yet. I don't want to jinx it.
Right.
And then you have the changing retail world. So, You just have to make the right fit.
Yeah,
and we're working on a couple of things.
Yeah.
And this facility pairs really nicely with Edmond Golf, which is right across the street, Edmond Golf Course. Mike over there has done a great job of remodeling the clubhouse, which is actually the original old ranch house from that property. So it's actually a really nice golf course. It's right across the street. So when conferences come in, we try to get them some good deals to play golf across the street.
Yeah, that's great. And it is a very good golf course. And I remember what the old clubhouse looked like and just what they've done. And I'm sure it attracts other events too, not just golf, right?
Yes.
And I've had a few meetings up there, and they have a wonderful conference room, and it's just a cool place to be. And I'm sure the people that live in this area are super happy now that they don't have to drive 30 minutes or jump on I-35 and go downtown to have a good time.
Yes.
So showbiz, I think friends of mine did when the movie Ford versus Ferrari came out,
Yeah.
they did a special there, and two friends that I have, one of them owns a very nice Ford and one owns a very nice Ferrari, so they had them parked outside. But it's events like that make it, that's, I'm sure if you called sometimes other theaters in bigger cities would say no, right? They say, no, we're not going to have a private showing for you guys for 50 or so guys who like cars, but I know they had a really, really good time. Is there anything else in this, any events coming up that haven't been postponed or redone because of this crazy virus that's happening right now?
There's Mitch Park, which is by the Aquatic Center, and then Hafer Park, which is where a lot of summer events happen and live music. Stevenson Park, which is on 9th and Boulevard. That is going to be totally redone, and there's already some living areas as well as Nashbird Chicken. So that's where you have Hideaway Pizza, and you've got the UCO Jazz Lab. So the idea is you can have some entertainment. You could live there if you want to. You can walk in the park. So that whole area is a visitor attraction. And I feel like sometimes people are looking for something different to do. And you got to think of Edmond because you're going to be surprised.
Or come up and bring your bikes and cycle around Lake Lake Arcadia, and then get off your bike and come to some of the fun stuff to do around town.
Yeah.
But there's a new multi-use path out. You can get on it off of I-35 and 15th, or I-35 and 2nd, and it's about a 3 mile out, 3 mile back, or you can hook up with the Arcadia Lake Trails from that path. But it's really good if you want to do a 6 miler. It's really a good course. Lots of trees. There's also some off-roading you can do if you've got a dirt bike that you want to, not motorized. But, pedal.
So Sherry and I are cyclists, and I do think that is an up and coming. It's healthy, and all of our Edmond trails will connect. That's the Spring Creek Trail you're talking about. So off-road and road cycling is a big deal. One of our podcasts in the future is going to be about Cycle 66, which is a brand new bike tour we're bringing in November.
Yeah. That's I assume to do with Route 66.
Yes.
How? Because that's one of the main attractions, right, for bringing people like myself from all across the world is Route 66. And when I got here, no one really I think everyone here takes it for granted. They don't realize how special it is, and you see people coming from Senate Governor Pennell was saying that he was over in Czechoslovakia and bringing people over because they have a Route 66
Germany,
society.
they love us.
So that's so special. And Pops is awesome, but just tying in what Pops is to that you don't have to drive 45 minutes to see the next really cool attraction. It's 15 minutes down the road. It's right here. And I know you mentioned the lake as well. Just going out on the lake on the boat and back in the corners and just. On a nice, today is really nice, for the most part anyway, right? It's not 100 degrees yet. It's, and it's showing people that they don't have to travel an hour or 2 hours away, out of state, out of town, to have a good time, to do a staycation.
Yes.
I remember when we met previously, you showed me there was one of the really cool historic Airbnbs, is that right?
Yes.
Arcadian Inn.
Is that what it is? I can't remember what it's called, but I know you said that it that's a special place.
And Two Hearts Inn that has a tea room and a bed and breakfast. Right. So there's a lot of places to stay that you'll feel luxurious and you'll feel like you're not even in Oklahoma sometimes just by that surroundings.
Right.
Yes.
For do we and I know it's hard with this kind of current time and planning and scheduling things. Is there anything that has been scheduled for the future now? Because with everyone coming back to normal, is there any events on the calendar that people can look forward to?
Well, I know Herd on Herd's going to be back.
Okay.
And Citizens Bank is an amazing partner.
Great.
And Jill Castilla, I think she'll be with you soon. So it's virtual right now, and they're doing some really creative things, but that will be back, and that's every month. So I think there's a lot of great things to look forward to. We're just waiting to make sure people feel safe.
Yeah, that's the big plus, isn't it? I know we mentioned earlier that like life is definitely changing. People are going to do things a lot differently now, but you know the good thing is that you can still come and hang out, or if you have to watch it virtually, you can still be a part of the community.
Yes.
That keeps the businesses running, and however that may be, and maybe we'll have to pay to be on a Zoom call or whatever, but at least you're a part of the community and you're hanging out and having pub quizzes over Zoom or whatever it is, the new creative ways that we have to do these things. But no, it's super excited for everything that's going to happen.
I mean, at the UCO Boathouse, you can rent stand-up paddleboards and kayaks.
That's another jewel that people don't realize that we have.
I didn't. You're right. I didn't, because I only thought the Boathouse was the one downtown. I mean, it is the only one downtown, but like.
Right. They have one downtown, but they have one at Arcadia as well with this.
It's a recreational facility.
Yeah. So anybody can just sign up.
Anybody.
Go out.
Anybody can go out and use it.
And they have kayaks and canoes and all the rest of
stand-up
it.
paddleboards.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
My wife loves that. I'm not a fan of the water,
so fun.
but she's gonna have to know that because she was out, I think, at Lake Overhaul, so they had the kind of they went. My brother-in-law has paddles, and they went out together.
We did it as a staff outing last summer, and it was really fun.
How was that?
It was really fun.
Anybody fall?
Did we lose anybody?
Yes. We're not naming names.
Yeah.
But I think that healthy alternative, Oklahoma is known as maybe not being the healthiest state in the world. In Edmond, we are healthy. You'll see people walking and biking and kayaking and fishing and, all those things that are right here. Really makes us unique, and then you get to shop and eat and all that great stuff too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great places to eat. I mean, I'm so glad when Sunnyside decided to come up here, because I know that I have a breakfast place to go to if I need
and Flat Tire Burgers, Eddie's. They have a place, hot wings at the rail yard, plus a new event center coming up.
Yeah, and the patio at the rail yard is going to open now.
Okay.
So it's the perfect time of year for that.
Yes.
And they will eventually have some live music out there. And
it's family friendly.
Yes.
They have a big area with games, with cornhole and
place for you to park your bike.
Yeah.
So we're going to have things on both sides of the tracks. So the Ice House development that's going to start, it'll start probably in the next 6 months.
Okay.
You'll be able to walk from the rail yard just right over the railroad tracks and go to both, and both family friendly. So just these little gems that are popping up. And then talking about cycling, so there's a master bike plan to connect you, so you could get on your bike on the west side of town and drive all the way to Arcadia.
Yeah.
So, and then stop in downtown along the way and
have some donuts, because donuts and biking go hand in hand. I don't know why.
You're gonna burn it off.
And all the coffee shops, donuts, biking. Yeah, you do.
That's what I've been slowly getting into biking. I've done some running previously, but now I'm getting into biking, and I've noticed that it's like craft beer, donuts, and cycling go together.
They're right. You can't forget the Craft Patriarch is an amazing place we haven't mentioned yet.
That's right.
So there is also games. So there's outside table tennis and cornhole and different things you can do outside, and there's usually music and food trucks, and that's beer. Obviously, it's all Patriarch beer. But Evoke has a cycling team as well. So these local businesses have really invested in Edmond, and they are here to stay. And they provide things that you don't just find in cookie cutters. So.
Right, and I love with the rail yard, and it's repurposing historic stuff that's already been there, right? It's not like a giant new development that's coming in that's trying to push out some of the old school stuff. It's really cool to use that stuff because it has character and stories behind it. I'm sure there's going to be people who go to it that maybe used to work there or
that building was 100 years old. The Ice House and Creamery building, over 100 years old. The Farmer's Grain back in there with Venue 102, they're thinking about doing a restaurant in the old actual store where Farmer's Grain was. That's 100 years old. So we never thought we'd see the development happened this quickly, just right there along the tracks and jumping the tracks and going west. And we're going to see some really cool things coming up.
We are. And that venue 102, if you're having a wedding, think of Edmond. Oak Tree has amazing wedding venues, especially the conference center as well as venue 102. And if you're having a meeting, think of Edmond too. A conference, regional, national, local, those are the things that you're going to save some money and you're going to create a great experience for your attendees.
Yeah. I want to ask you all this question. If someone's coming to town and they want to have a date night, what is your go-to spots? If you all, and you can all choose the same place. I probably doubt that you will, but what for you would be like if you want to go somewhere, what would be your date night?
We got to say if it's going to be fancy date or casual fun date.
Okay.
So
we all get to pick.
I'd go to the Royal Yard first to Taqueria El Camino.
Start with drinks.
And because they have a really good pineapple jalapeno frozen margarita.
Okay.
That's really good. I'd go there first, and then I'd probably go to Sparrow.
Yes.
They have this pepperoni pizza that's stacked. It's called a stacked pizza, and so they stack the pepperonis. They're so good. They're kind of crispy. They're really yummy. And then I'd go back to the Rail Yard and go to Cities and get ice cream or a cookie.
Or cookies.
And then ride your bike the next day.
That's right. Or maybe I'd just cycle back and forth to all those places. I don't know.
I'm kind of fancy. I like to dress up. Armstrong Auditorium is in Edmond also, and so they have amazing performances. And then the Signature Grill.
I love Signature Grill.
So if you haven't been there, it's really small, but their entrees and desserts are just amazing.
And
so
the chef, his name's Clay Faulkner, and he's amazing.
Okay, Janet.
So I like wine, and we have plenty of places for wine now. So 1884 has a wonderful wine selection, and we have a couple of places in town now where you can get charcuterie.
Yes.
And so they'll have that at Frenzy's. They've got it at 1884. They've got it at Sparrow. So the Holloway Group has 501 Boulevard and Sparrow. And so the other thing at Sparrow is they have a chicken Parmesan pizza. And it is unlike anything else I've ever had. It's huge.
Yeah.
They slice it like a pizza, and it's wonderful.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Boulevard, you can't beat their steak. Cannot beat their steak.
Yeah, it's very, very good. If you can see it, right?
That just adds to the romance.
Yes.
The ambiance.
I think because I love breakfast, brunch the next day, I would probably say Sunnyside. But is there any others that stand out?
For brunch?
Yeah.
Well, Eddington's as well as...
We're building a neighborhood jam.
Yes.
It's under construction right now.
Oh, that's great.
It's on 2nd Street
I know
by the new
everyone
Pub
that goes to
W,
the one
which
that
is...
the one that goes over on the north side of town is where they wait for hours to
Right,
get in there. So
right.
now
This
you can come
one's-
up here and you don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Or
Pub
you
W
do have
has
to pay.
brunch too, by
Yes,
the way.
Pub W is
Yeah.
really good too.
Okay.
There's a new one on 2nd Street in Edmond.
See, people need to know this stuff.
Right, and Live Grass is opening up soon, and that is the
That's
farm
true.
to table restaurant that is right by Pub W across the street, so it's on 2nd. So again, that's another local amazing kind of restaurant collaboration that is going to bring a lot of visitors.
Awesome. Well, this has been really cool.
I'm hungry. I have to leave.
I'm just thinking about stacking pizza now. And that chicken Parmesan pizza
Fried
too.
pepperoni stacked.
Oh, it's so good.
So good, you're right. But no, this has been a pleasure. Great first start, great first episode for this series, and I can't wait to share more information. Love the passion that you have for this area, this town, this city, and really just. I hope you continue to do the work that you do. You seem to love what you do, and clearly, you've done it a long time because you love doing it. So, I don't get the sense that it doesn't feel like a job. That's what it sounds like to me. This is not a job for you guys. This is I love doing this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than doing this.
Ladies, thanks so much for joining us. And thanks guys for listening. We'll catch you in next episode. Cheers.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.